The 1990s and 2000s were the golden era for the UK. The economy was thriving. But fast forward to 2023, the UK stands alone among its wealthy peers. It is the only country where inflation continues to climb. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development revealed that inflation in the G7 nations dropped to 4.6% in May, a lowest level since 2021. Yet, surprisingly, the UK finds itself in shambles with its current inflation rate soaring at 7.9%. The world's sixth largest economy is facing a crisis like never before, leaving us to wonder, what's keeping inflation at such high levels and why is the economic situation on the brink of collapsing? The current situation in the UK is influenced by several factors, including the dramatic effects of Brexit, the pandemic, the war between Russia and Ukraine, and decisions taken by the government. These elements have combined to create a perfect storm for soaring inflation. First, let's look at the unexpected consequences of Brexit. January 2020 officially marked the UK's departure from the European Union, and things didn't turn out as many had hoped. Brexit has resulted in a smaller UK economy. Business investment has been affected. Despite a UK-Europe trade deal, the investments remain 8% below pre-pandemic levels. These circumstances have also devalued the pound and fueled inflation, leading to increased import costs without substantial export gains. Before Brexit, the UK enjoyed the benefits of being part of the European single market, which meant that no import duties or quotas were applied to trade with any of the other market members. But the separation has created trade barriers for UK businesses and foreign companies that use Britain as a European base, and has raised costs, disrupted supply chains, and increased labor shortages. The ultimate impact is inflation has worsened, and has negatively impacted both workers and the business community. During these tough times, navigating the post-Brexit trade landscape has been challenging for businesses, particularly small ones. Nightmarish paperwork, transportation issues, and prolonged delays have become commonplace. This has hit UK's exports. The London School of Economics estimates a 30% decline in UK product exports to Europe in the first year after Brexit. Now this has damaged the UK's trading capabilities. Trade as a share of GDP dropped to 12% since 2019, and has surpassed declines in other G7 countries. And if we talk about its impact, weaker investment, a smaller GDP, and declining tax revenues have significantly impacted the government's ability to fund essential services. Now let's look at the impact of the pandemic. When COVID started to gain control, the UK experienced a sharp economic contraction. And this contraction was the most severe since the 2008 financial crisis. Global lockdowns disrupted supply chains. It caused shortages and increased transport costs. And the target of these problems were consumers, who were burdened with increased costs. One of the biggest impacts of the pandemic was layoffs and reduced services. Unemployment was on the rise due to the lockdowns, and many industries couldn't operate in the work-from-home mode. This made the job situation even worse. The job security and earnings declined, so did consumer confidence, leading to low purchasing across various sectors. Amidst this chaos, the sterling lost its worth, and even the gas prices increased, adding more fuel to the fire. Increased gas costs impacted various goods like rising tomato prices. Additionally, the higher wheat and agricultural prices globally exerted upward pressure on food prices, further impacting inflation in the UK. Travel restrictions resulted in decreased shipping volumes and flight traffic, and trade experienced a significant decline, impacting productivity and the speed of economic recovery. The government's debts also increased, with estimated borrowing for 2020 to 21 reaching the highest level since World War II. However, the Debt Management Office was able to raise funds without affecting market demand. So in conclusion, COVID caused a severe economic downturn for the UK, impacting various sectors, employment, trade, and government finances. Let us see the role of the Russia-Ukraine war in the UK's inflation. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has caused immense human suffering, but it has also presented a significant challenge to the UK economy. The war disrupted energy markets, leading to higher energy prices globally. This increase directly affected the UK, which relies on these energy sources. As a result, the cost of living rose and impacted household budgets and purchasing power. The UK heavily depends on commodities such as titanium, palladium, wheat, and corn, which Russia and Ukraine produce. With disruptions in the supply chain, the prices of these commodities increased by 2x. Furthermore, the industries reliant on these commodities, like manufacturing and agriculture, face even more challenges, contributing to inflation. Now let's look at the impact of government decisions. As the UK economy was struggling from the consequences of Brexit, the COVID-19 crisis, and the Russia-Ukraine war, the government's decisions, like under Liz Truss's leadership, had worsened the situation. Liz campaigned on implementing a different approach to tackle economic challenges, including inflation. However, the government's actions ended up having adverse effects. Their controversial tax package boosted the inflationary pressures and negatively impacted the economy. One aspect of the tax package was the reduction in tax rates for high earners. This move benefited the wealthy while burdening the majority. The public's frustration grew as they perceived this as favoring the rich at the expense of the common man. The government initially announced a plan to increase corporate tax from 19% to 20% by 2023, but later put it on hold. This reversal damaged the public's trust and confidence, and it raised doubts about the government's ability to make tough decisions and manage the economy. As a result of these ill-advised decisions, inflation skyrocketed. People experienced rising costs of goods and services, leading to reduced purchasing power. This resulted in a contraction in overall economic activity. Investors responded to the unstable environment by selling the pound. The UK is in a concerning situation. Brexit, rising costs after the pandemic, the Ukraine conflict, and all the political drama are the culprits for this mess. Let us know your thoughts about UK's economy. Thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.